Most golfers think their slices cost from just their swing path. But I'm here to tell you, there's one other piece. It's your club face. By the end of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you need to fix your club face so that you can break that slice once and for all and hit nice, high, tiny draws. Golfers typically fight an open club face when their aim gets off, their grip gets out of position, their ball position and handle location get off, or simply how they move their wrists in the golf swing. The easiest fixes for a club face are typically done in your setup. So most golfers, when they set up, check your club face first. If the face is lined up too far to the right in relation to the direction your path is moving, you're going to fight a slice. Knowing where this is pointed matters when we know what our swing path is. If you're fighting a slice, if you're swinging inside out, the face needs to point slightly to the right of the target, but left of the path. The other setup issue that I find is typically ball position and handle location, both of which influence the amount of offset or onset that we're playing. If our leading edge is set up behind the front of the shaft, the face plays more close to the path. When it sets up behind it, where the hands and the shaft are behind your leading edge, that's usually always going to make the face play more open to your path. So when I see golfers set up with their handle very straight up and down, their ball position too far forward, and their hands back here like this, 9 times out of 10, that's a golfer who is gonna fight a slice. If we take the handle and place it further forward than the golf ball, you create more offset and you can help keep the club face closed to the path to help you create a draw. If we set up with the handle back, so we're gonna hit one, where I'm gonna place the golf ball forward in my stance, we're gonna set the shaft back, and I'm just gonna rip this. I'm not gonna try to change anything. We're just gonna hit it. Ball position, slightly forward, handle back, try to take my standard grip, and then just swing, and let's see what it does. Ball started slightly right and it faded. So the face was open to the path. As soon as I take the handle and I push it forward and I move the ball slightly back, I can get this golf ball to start curving to the left. My ball starting slightly to the right with the smallest amount of draw possible, and I didn't swing very hard. Simple fixes by where this aims, where the handle and the ball position are really easy to get the golf ball to change curvature direction. If this is starting to make sense to you, make sure to like, hype this, save this in your playlist so that next time you go to the driving range, you can open it up and watch it and then fix this in your own golf game. Grip is the other thing that I see golfers struggle with. A weak grip or a strong grip influence direction. You're going to hear both of these, so we might as well address them now. The strong side of your body is your right side for a right-hander. It's a left side for a left-hander. The creases on your hand, if they are rotated towards the trail shoulder, that's your strong side, is a strong grip. As soon as we start taking the hands and move them this way, that would be neutral. If they're pointed towards the weak side of your body, that's a weak grip. If you can't seem to get the club to turn and you're missing the roll component of the swing, if you take the hands and rotate them this way, your brain typically doesn't like this position and it wants to revert them back to neutral as you swing the golf club. So you get the roll for free. So that's good and all, but what about the driver? More people slice the driver than they do with their irons. So we have to understand how to control the face with the driver as well as with an iron. Key differences besides the size of the club head is the amount of offset your irons have versus that of your driver. The leading edge of my club face sits on that side of my club shaft like every driver on the market. The face is usually going to play slightly more open. If there's any bit of offset where the leading edge sits behind the front of the shaft, that face is going to have a tendency to play more closed. If we want to close the face with the driver and play more of a draw, we have to exaggerate our movements, ball position and handle position. When I see golfers set up for a fade, they usually have the ball too far forward and the handle too far back. Well, that takes a face that's already got onset and makes it 10 times worse. So if I take my setup and my ball position's too far forward and the handle's too far back. So we're gonna play this golf ball up here out in front of my left ankle, outside my shoulder. And we're gonna play the hands back here in front of the thigh where I see 95% of people play their driver. And we're just gonna see what it does. I'm just making normal swings. I'm not trying to manipulate the face. I'm just letting the face relationship do what it needs to do based off of the setup. That ball started pretty straight and faded off to the right. Now, if I take the ball position and move it from outside my shoulder to in line with my shoulder, and I put the face at the target and I even touch the handle forward just a little bit, now I can get that face to close and I can hit the ball a lot straighter or even get myself to hit little draws. So the ball in line with the shoulder, the handle pushed slightly forward with the face straight, should help us hit more of a draw. There she be. Overdid that one a little bit, but I got the face close to the shaft. If you slice your driver more than your irons, let me know in the comments. When it comes to the wrist conditions that most players fight when the face gets open, there's two of them specifically that I want to talk about. They rely on rolling the face open in the backswing, and the club head gets stuck behind them. Well, as you see that when we start looking at the HackMotion, is you're going to see how that is rolling open an absolute ton. If I was to hit a shot, HackMotion will usually detect things that are going wrong, but you have to understand what the golf ball's doing so that you know if that change really needs to happen or if that's a drill that you can do that's gonna actually help you. So when we're over rolling the club in the backswing, the club gets stuck behind you and the face gets open, and then in the downswing, your brain says, oh no, I need to figure out how to close it. And you actually throw the club over the top without closing the face, and you hit over the top pull slices. My checkpoint in the backswing, and we go from P1 to P2, I want the club head on or slightly behind the hands, but I need the face to actually point about 30 to 40 degrees down to the ground. My lead wrist is going to be fairly flat to slightly flexed, and my trail wrist is going to be extended backwards. If I show you what I see normal golfers do, and it's going to require me to hit 5 shots before it'll tell me, so we're going to hit 5 of them, and I'm going to try to roll the face and show you guys what the data shows you. That's really hard to make contact with doing that. I don't know about you guys, but if you guys do that, I am sorry. You need to watch this video and fix it. Gosh, that's really freaking weird. So when we look at our flexion, our ulnar deviation, our radial deviation, and the amount of roll, each color on this graph is a different motion. Mine are the solid lines. The benchmark for this release pattern, which is the one that I'm working on for myself the most, the dotted lines are where we want it. So if we look at the purple graph, that's what we're looking at the most. You can see just how quickly I roll the face open from address to the top. And then in the downswing, I have to then try to close it. And I never ever really got it back to match that purple dotted line. So when we see stuff like that, my brain instantly says, oh, we need to stop rotating the club face. So when we're using the HackMotion, I always recommend doing this without a golf ball first, and then you can slowly institute that later. But the easiest way to do this is to follow the on-screen prompts. It always highlights the arm that the device is on, and it always wants you to start at setup. So I'm going to take my setup. You're going to see the bar tick forward. Then you're going to hear a click, and it's going to want me to move my club into a specific position multiple times in a row. Then I can go to the top, and I have to maintain my wrist conditions as I do so. It's fantastic because they make you do it slowly so that you can feel it and train it, and then you slowly start adding a golf ball. But if I do that drill and then I chip golf balls, even slowly, I should start seeing the golf ball curve to the left. So we're going to do this as a drill rep, but then in the downswing, we're going to go ahead and hit the shot. I actually hit a little bit of a straight push with a 1-degree curve. So to do the inside takeaway drill, we're going to take our normal setup and don't move. We're going to take it back, try not to move the wrist, get to the range, and then we're going to repeat. We're going to do that 5 times. That's 1. Face down, go to the top. I can hear it beeping at me that it's in a good spot. And all I'm trying to do is mimic what I see on my iPad screen. That's 4. Here's the 5th rep. And then go, I can hit a little draw. It's a great tool in that it forces you to slow things down, feel it, and then make the change. This is what I have 98% of my students do with practice swings, and this is why we harp on slow motion practice swings. It's the only way to train your wrists how to move. Wrist bends and how we close the club face and how we swing the wrist in order to generate speed and power are the hardest things in the golf swing to fix. Make sure to save this video, like it, make sure to comment closed in the comments below, and I'm going to send you a link with a coupon that gives you 5% off. I'll also link it as the first pinned comment as well as in the description so that you can take advantage if you want something like this for yourself to practice.